Well, we're still in Myers. I hope I've got this thing set where it'll work. I want to tell another hunting story with going out with John Canty. I don't know why my boys were along, but at that time, Rick, son of some of our very favorite friends and hunting partner that I get back to, Rick Olson, was living with us and going to Adams State College. And Rick and I were in the hunting party with John and his two sons, and it seems to me there was another adult. But at any rate, he'd already lined us out, and we'd circled a couple of patches of timber, made drives, had somebody at the end to shoot if something came out, didn't get anything. And now we're going along, and he said, we're going to go to Bear Mountain. And he said, you will notice that Kyle, my youngest son, will stay very close to me. Now, wasn't his youngest son of the group of children he had, but of the two boys that were out hunting with us. He said, there's a story as to why Kyle will stay close to me here. He said, we know this mountain now as Bear Mountain. He said, a few years ago I decided to go bow hunting for a bear. And we knew there were some bears in this area. And he said, I had a hunting partner and my two boys, and we were hunting bear here. And the boys and he said, I had my son Mike carrying a shotgun just in case we needed to back up. And he said, the boys and I were coming around this mountain on a narrow trail against the rising mountain drop off below the trail. And he said, my friend was coming up from the other direction, and he drove a bear right around the corner of the mountain ahead of us. Comes this bear. Well, he said, I went bear hunting with the intention of shooting a bear. So he said, I shot him. Twanged an arrow at him. He said, I hit him. He said, evidently I hit him in such a manner that it paralyzed his back legs, because the bear's coming right on at us, pulling himself with just his front legs. And he said, you know, we're kind of in a tight spot. But he said, I thought I had hit him hard enough that he's going to keel over, and he didn't. And he said, after a while, the bear got close enough, and I don't know if John had shot him again or not as he was coming. But he said, the bear got close enough that I said, Mike, gun. And he said, I reached back to where Mike was, no gun. I turn around, Mike's running 60-0 down the trail that we just come on. He said the bear, Kyle and I just got back tight against the side of the mountain, and the bear went right on by us to a little tree over there and was trying to climb it, and that's where he died. And he said later, I said to Mike, why did you run when I said, Mike, gun? He said, Mike said, Dad, I thought you said, Mike, run. I can understand why that boy would hear Mike run with the bear coming at you. Well, nobody was hurt except the bear. I think John did say he didn't think he'd ever bow hunt for a bear again. So here we are on Bear Mountain. And he's organized the drive, and I'm one of the drivers along with Mike. And there's, I think, another adult along. He takes Rick Olson with him, and he positions down where we're going to, if there's anything driven out of the woods, those deer should come down there. So we're making the drive, and we're pop, 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 2 or 3 shots. And we get down there, and here lies the dead deer. And John, did you shoot the deer? Yes, I did, he said, and I could have shot more. But he said, he said, Rick, why didn't you shoot that deer I sent over to you? And old Rick shrunk to the ground almost. Well, he said, I got excited and forgot to take the gun off safety. And of course, everybody got a laugh out of it except Rick. But Rick said, hey, Mr. Canty, how did you know that deer came by me? John said, I knew because I pushed him in your direction. I suppose he shot in a way that turned the deer to go right over to Rick. That's the kind of man John Canty was. Never knew a better educator, and certainly never knew a hunter of his caliber. Well, maybe some other good hunters, but not all the combinations of character that John Canty has.